your girl Naja here, and I am back with another video. And oh, my necklaces aren't showing. This turtleneck is swallowing it, you know. This is like, oh my god, my septum itches, I'm sorry. This is like my favorite wig, and this shit was only like $10. Like, so this is going to be a story time video, and this is a story time that I completely forgot about, and I don't know how, but what triggered the memory is I was looking at posts on Instagram, and I just saw a whole bunch of posts where servers were talking about like the grossest customers I've ever had, or the most like rude customers I've ever had, and it just made me think of a really disgusting group of men that came into my job, how they treated me, and how poorly my manager rectified the situation. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell that story for you guys. Hopefully this could prevent this happening to some of my ladies out there. Hell, even maybe some of my guys, you never know. But yeah, this is basically the time where I worked at a restaurant and there was a group of creeps being creepy, making my job a living hell. Like, what's new, right? If you guys like my story times, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, I'm just gonna get right on into it. So this is back when I was serving at the Indian restaurant, and like, you guys always ask me to do stories about the Indian restaurant all the time. Like, cause back when I first started doing my story times, like seriously, I would tell stories about the Indian restaurant, or when I was serving at that club, like stuff like that. But it's literally like the club story time, I was literally only working there for like a week. And the Indian restaurant, I did work there for, I want to say a year, maybe 2 years. I want to say just a year. And like, I pretty much already summed up all the major things that happened there. Like, you guys know it was corrupt as shit. My manager was very corrupt. He hired illegal immigrants in the kitchen, and he would constantly do this like superiority complex over them and cut their checks and constantly tell them disgusting things like, oh, well, who are you gonna tell, because you're not even supposed to be in this country type shit. And it doesn't make sense because his ass is an immigrant himself. It's just he is a legal documented one, but because these people weren't on papers or whatever, he would constantly threaten them with deportation and stuff like that. Just really disgusting shit. He smashed one of my coworkers. He smashed multiple coworkers while his wife worked there with us. He would smash her in the kitchen, smash her in the car. Like, I have story times on all of this shit. What else did he do? He would cut our checks. I made a story time about that. He would cut my checks. There was only 2 US citizens that worked in that whole, well, me, another US citizen, one girl on a college visa, and him and his wife were the only people set straight in that whole business establishment. Everybody else was under the table and were illegal immigrants and stuff. But it's just like, even because he legally had to pay us, he would cut our shit, would never give us pay stubs, like just crooked shit. If you guys want to see all that, I do have those videos in my Storytime playlist, so you guys need to go and get caught up just so you can understand the type of environment that I was working in. Like, it was already really bad, but I was a college kid, I needed money, and I valued my tips. Even though he also taxed my tips and would take money from my paycheck for my tips. I'm trying to take off these glasses because I cannot see, bitch. It was looking cute, the aesthetic was popping or whatever. I was looking like your favorite librarian, but I just cannot do it, I'm sorry. So yeah, it was just a hot ass mess, and like, I don't regret ever working there, only because it did build me some character, it did give me some experience in serving and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just a shit show, and I'm glad that place is shut down. That place no longer exists. I'm super excited that it doesn't, because like, he was just a hot, like, my manager slash boss was the one that made it like a hot ass mess. Oh, I almost forgot, my training day, the bitch that was supposed to be training me had me stealing for her, and I didn't even know. Like, there's story times about every major thing that happened. The only major thing that happened that I didn't make a story time about is what happened on Valentine's Day at my job, but I'm gonna wait until next month to do the Valentine's Day story, what happened to me while I was working there on Valentine's Day. Just stupid. It was just so stupid. Let me know if I've already done that story. I really don't know, because I really thought that I like squared away all the server stories and shit and just focused on the call center story times, but just let me know. Oh, and icebreaker, sorry guys, call center story times are slowly coming to an end because I mean, shit, it's about to be that point where I end up quitting at the job, with, if you're following Keeping Up. So yeah, just letting you guys know. So I'm trying to save everything for you guys and not run out of content and shit, because you guys know right now in my life I don't really be on no drama shit. So yeah, that's just that. But anyway, enough rambling. I'm sorry, I've just been rambling for 5 minutes. So basically this happened at the Indian restaurant. and it was a night shift. So how Indian restaurants work, I don't know if you guys operate the same way at any other Indian restaurants that you guys are living around, but they open from like 11 to maybe 3 p.m. and then they close, and the 11 to 3 p.m. is like a buffet type of thing, and then they close and then they open back up at like 5 or 4, and then they go on until like 10 p.m. right? So I usually work the night shift, which I didn't mind because you got more tips. So the night shift starts at like 5 p.m. but sometimes I would come in at like 4:50 to get everything set up and stuff. Like at this point I was pretty seasoned at being a server. Like I have my own little routines. I was the head server for the night shift, so, well, the lead server, whatever it's called. Like I had everything jam-packed. Like even though things were shitty because of my boss and shit, like I still had shit down packed. I had my own little routine. I was cool with some people in the back. Like everything was cool, right? Even though the people in the back were always drunk, but that's a whole different story. Like if y'all keep up with, y'all already know the whole tea with that job. But right when it's opening time, I'm trying to get things set up, you know, I'm trying to clean up some of the remaining stuff from the buffet. I'm trying to get shit set up, and the other girl didn't come in until like, what, like 5 on the dot, so she really didn't have a lot of shit to do. But I like coming in early, get my mood right, you get what I'm saying? And I'm kind of a control freak anyway, so I'd rather do it by myself. So right as the dinner fucking portion starts, there is a group of dudes. I want to say it's maybe around like 10 of them. They all come in. And now I don't know how some of you guys' restaurants work if you guys are servers, but we do gratuity for 6 people and up, which is really dope when you work at an Indian restaurant, because usually Indian families all go as a group and they eat together. So it'll usually be anywhere from like 6 to 15 people. So whether they tip you or not, you're still gonna get that gratuity added onto the bill, which counts as your tip, if that makes any sense. So I'm thinking, oh, happy day, bitch. I'm the only server in here, and I just got 12 dudes walk up in here. Now they look like businessmen, kind of. They all look like blue collar as fuck. Like they walked in there, they had their little briefcases, like, you know, they had suits on and stuff like that, and they went and they sat down. We had like this long middle table that was usually for the big groups, and they sat down at that long middle table. You know, I got my menus, bitch. I rushed over there, I put the menus down for them and stuff, and I'm like, what can I get you guys? And at the restaurant, we wouldn't write down orders. We had a tablet. So you get the tablet and you press in what they want, and it immediately goes to the register, and then it prints out in the kitchen, right? So I'm walking around my tablet. I'm like, yeah, what can I get for you? What can I get for you? What the fuck did they want? I will never, ooh, I was about to say I will never forget, but I already forgot. It's like a big, it was like a big, I want to say it was a Yingling, but I really don't want to say it was Yingling because I really want to say it was like this big Indian beer. I think it was the Taj Mahal beer. If any of you guys drink beer, I really don't. I just drink cider beers, so I'm not really good with beer, so I might be wrong. But it was this beer that was just like big as fuck, and they all wanted one each. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll come back later and I'll get your food. No biggie. You guys probably just got off of work. I'll get you guys a beer. So I go in the back, you know, and we had chilled glasses in the freezer, right? Now where I fucked up is I should have known, okay, there are like what, 10 men here, 10, 12 men here. I should have added more glasses into the freezer, but I didn't think that these niggas would be sitting here drinking bottle after damn bottle, okay? So I didn't think to put any new glasses in the freezer, which I should have, because you know, when you drink beer, you want a cool glass. I don't know. You know, I pop all their beers for them, I pour it in the glass, and I hand it to them. Finally, one of my coworkers comes in, she sees this big ass table. She knows that I'm gonna need help, but I don't wanna split the tip with you, bitch. But shit, if you wanna help me, you can. So, you know, she comes in and she's like, whoa, I'm so sorry, I would've came earlier and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, it's cool. And she's really, really cool about it. She's super cool because she is the girl there on the college visa. Even though me and her bump heads in the Valentine's Day story, you guys will see, but she's really cool because her parents have like a lot of money. Like she's not really working because she needs money. Like her parents pay for her apartment, her parents pay for her schooling, everything. It's just the fact that her parents want her to learn responsibility. And mind you, at the time, old girl was 24 years old, but I don't know. But she didn't really need the money like that. So she told me straight up,
look, I'll help you. I'm not gonna take any of your tips, but if you need anything, just let me know.
And I'm like, okay, cool. I really appreciate you, right? You know, I'm doing whatever. I'm cleaning up in the back, doing my thing, keeping an eye on them from time to time. And then I'm like, okay, well, they've been drinking these beers. Let me go and ask them, like, are you ready to order. I go over and I'm like, hey guys, so are you guys ready to put in an order? And the guy at the head of the table, he was like,
no, we just want some more beers. We'll let you know if we need something to eat.
And it's crazy because it's all about tone. Because if he would have been like, oh no, we just need some beers, I'll let you know when we need something to eat. I'm like, all right, sir. But he was like, no, we only want beers and I'll let you know if we want something. Who are you talking to? Like, I was like, oh, okay, sir. I didn't even respond, but I was just like, okay. And I just walked back to the back and I'm finishing doing what I need to do because I'm like, look, I can't let my first table of the night put me in a shit mood. It's I can't. It's a Friday. I can't do it. I was about to say it's a Saturday. It was definitely a Friday because these dudes look like they just got out of the fucking corporate office building and I really worked. Like, I made the most money Fridays and Saturdays or whatever, but anyway, yeah, so I'm just like, look, I'm not gonna let them ruin my whole vibe for the whole freaking night. Like, I need to get this money. Like, I can't. I need to get this money because unlike college visa boo, my mom ain't giving me shit. Like, my mom's just letting me have a roof over my head for the time being until I get the fuck out. Like, so that's why I was like, look, I can't afford to fuck shit up and fuck my mood up and fuck with my bread for the rest of the night. So I go back in the kitchen and I'm doing my little shit, getting shit ready. I'm counting the cash in the register. I'm doing my thing. And then out of nowhere, this dude is gonna get his spoon and clink it against the freaking beer bottle. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? So I look over at him and I'm just like, I literally was in like a shock of disbelief for a second because I'm just looking over at him like, so boom, I'm like, okay, he's trying to get my attention. So I walk over to him and I bring the tablet. I'm like, yes sir, what can I do for you?
Oh, I'm ready to order.
And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I would like some chicken vindaloo and some chicken jalfrezi. Do you even?
And then like before I could even type it in, like I'm putting in the 2 meals. Then out of nowhere, he just stops me. He's like,
do you even know what those meals are?
Yes, sir, I know what the meals are. I work here.
Oh, well, I know you work here, but there's a difference between working somewhere and being...
What the fuck did he say? He said there's a difference between working here and being informed or something like that, or being knowledgeable or something, like something along those lines. And I just got quiet because I'm like, Naja. Because mind y'all, this was after that little incident where that lady came in and we had an argument. If you watch that story time, this was after the fact. So I'm like, yo, I don't need no more people writing Yelp reviews about me. I need to calm my ass down. I need to just chill, let it roll off my back. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I just stayed quiet. And then I was like, sir, what else can I get for you?
Oh, okay, well, you know, we need some naan bread. Just bring out a whole bunch of naan bread. Just bring us naan bread and bring us some papadun and some fucking,
he didn't say fucking, but some rotis and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, sir. So I put it in. And I even wrote as a note, like, please bring out the appetizers before the food, please. Because, you know, you're the only person in the restaurant, of course, but the cooks in the back are gonna, you get what I'm saying? So I put in, please put that last or whatever. And then as I'm walking away, he was like,
oh, wait, I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you.
You're not done with me? What? I was like, okay, now just sit, you're being dramatic, sis. Just, you know, they probably had a long day at their little corporate office. Go over there and talk to them. So I was like, I'm sorry about that, sir. What else would you like to add to your order?
Oh, me and my friends would like some more beers.
So at this point, y'all have all had 3 of these. The beers are like this fucking big. Like, I'm not even joking. And they're probably like this wide. Like,
all my friends and I, we would like another beer.
And I'm just like, how the fuck are y'all drinking beer this fast? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go into the freaking kitchen or whatever, and as I'm pouring beers, I notice I'm probably like 2 or 3 cups short of the frozen glasses, and I'm like, fuck. So I immediately put a whole bunch of them at the bottom, and I'm like, god damn it. I already know, like, I could just tell by how these people's mannerisms are that this is going to be a huge issue. It's a small problem, but they're gonna blow it up into a huge issue. I could just feel it. So I was like, fuck, all right, so I'm gonna take some time on the glasses. I'm gonna put the stuff in, make it seem like I'm getting some appetizers together, right? So I'm doing this, so I'm doing that, right? And you know, the appetizers come out. I come out with the appetizers, and before I even like set the appetizers down, the dude at the head of the table,
miss.
And I just cut it off. I was like, 1 second, sir. Well, here's your appetizers, and I'm about to go and get your beers, okay? I'm sorry, I needed to set this down first. All right, sir, what can I get for you? What's going on?
Oh, no, nothing.
What is this? What is this? Why are you doing this in my face? Who are you? What the fuck? Like, the disrespect. So I'm just like, okay. So, you know, I go into to the kitchen and I get the glasses. The glasses that I put in previously are not as cold or as chilled as the other ones. Like, it's pretty evident. The other ones have, like, you know, condensation and stuff on it. This one is kind of like, it's cold to the touch, but it's not the same. So, you know, I'm passing it around and I make sure I gave the dude at the head of the table that was doing all the talking, I made sure I gave him the frozen glass. So, you know, I set all their shit down, blah, 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 blah. One of the dudes that did not get the frozen glass.
Oh no, ma'am, this is unacceptable. This is very unacceptable. Do I need to talk to your boss about this?
I was like, sir, what's going on?
My glass is not frozen. Look at his glass and look at my glass.
And at this point, I'm kind of like deer in the headlights because I'm like, fuck, well, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do, but I'm not trying to be, like, you get what I'm saying? So thankfully, some random dude at the table saved him. He was like,
oh, I don't give a fuck.
Like, just loud and drunk.
I don't give a fuck. Here, trade a glass with me. I'm already drunk.
Okay, I was like, is there anything else you guys need at this moment?
Yeah, we want to add some more meals.
I'm like, nigga, y'all gonna eat y'all appetizers yet? Like, y'all just being drunk and loud and just disrespectful, like. So I'm like, okay, sir, what could I get you? He put in another meal or whatever, and I go to the back. I'm seeing that they're preparing the first meal or whatever, and I told them keep it hot because they're not done with their appetizers, and he told me specifically with his fucking king of the Indian restaurant ass that he wants his stuff after the fact. So, you know, I'm getting stuff ready. I'm getting, you know, the sauces and stuff ready for the sides and stuff. All of a sudden, dude at the head of the table again.
Miss, can you come here, miss?
Okay, so I go over there and he was like,
what are you?
I was like, excuse me?
Like, what are you? Are you Indian too? Because you kind of look Indian, but I'm not sure. Like, what are you?
Well, I'm not Indian.
Okay, but like, what are you though?
I'm like, is this man for real? So I told him, I was like, my parents, just to simplify shit, I was just like, my parents are Caribbean.
Oh.
And the whole table.
Oh my God. Oh, so you do know about the food. You do, blah, blah, blah. And
in my head, I'm just like, bro, just because we all make curries does not mean it's the same. Like, I really did not know shit about y'all food till I started working here. Just because I ate curry before I started working here does not mean we eat the same food. We definitely don't. There's different spices, different tastes, different names. No, we don't. But in my head, I'm just looking at them like, some random dude at the end of the table.
Well, that explains why you're so pretty.
Mind you, these men are like in their 30s. Like, these men are in their 30s, and I had to have been like 18 years old. Like, and I look like a baby. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? And then they were just like, oh, we like your, one of the dudes, we like your nose piercing, blah, blah, blah. So then, you know, I kind of gave, college visa homegirl, I kind of gave her this look like, can you come in and save me, bitch? Because I'm not trying to fuck up my tip, but this is just like very awkward and like they're getting really weird. I don't like it. They're drunk. I just don't like it. So then, you know, college visa girl comes over. She was like,
oh, Naja, they need you in the kitchen really quick.
And I'm like, oh, bitch, let's go. Tag team, let's go. So I like go to the kitchen.
Is there anything else I can get for you, sir?
And their faces just kind of looked at her like,
no, we don't need anything from you. We don't.
And I'm just like, bruh, like, why do people feel like they are just so like above somebody in this world? Like, I just don't get it. Like, y'all really be talking to anybody any type of way and just expect it to be okay, and you treat people like servants. It's like, you do realize we don't live here. Like, we clock out and go home and we're human beings on the street just like you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, you know, asshole girl, she came back to me once they dismissed her, and we're in the kitchen talking, and she was like,
oh my God, should we tell,
what did I call him, Carl? She's like, oh my
God, should we tell Carl that they were talking to you like that?
And I was like, girl, do you really think Carl is going to give a fuck?
No, you should really tell him. You should really tell him.
So, you know, we went back there and I let her do the talking because I already knew what he was gonna say, and guess what? I was not wrong. So she went back there and she was like,
Carl, those guys, like, they were harassing Naja, and they were, you know, saying that she was pretty, and like, you know, they're just really drunk, and I could just tell she was uncomfortable. So like, do you think that you could wait the table instead of us, because they're kind of rowdy?
Carl looked at her as if she had a freaking elephant trunk coming out of her goddamn forehead. He was looking at her like, bitch, are you kidding me? And then he looked at me, and I'm looking at him like, bruh, I don't even know what I'm doing here at this point. Like, I'm just over it.
Look, If they like you, that means a bigger tip. If you want me to take over this table, I'm taking the tip.
And I'm like, well, fuck no, I don't want you taking the fucking tip. And I was like, look, I don't have a problem serving them. It's almost over anyway. I'm about to take their food out there.
Okay, good. I'll help you guys bring the food out.
He helps us. We all bring the food out and stuff. And then, you know, like, we start clearing the appetizers out and stuff. Everything is all set up. They want more beers. At this point, I already had shit frozen and brought it to them or whatever. And, you know, they were still being disgusting. He asked my manager, talking about,
oh, you should let the servers wear skirts here. Like, if the servers wore skirts, they would get more tips.
So the whole night's done, you know, I'm cleaning up their stuff, and then they were doing like this arguing thing of who was gonna pay the bill. So some dude came up to my little register stand and he paid the whole bill, right? So, you know, I cashed them out and I was like, I thank you guys for coming here, blah, blah, blah. And they literally all got up, went outside the restaurant and just waited because they had to order a fucking Uber or some shit, or a taxi really, because Uber wasn't there, but they were waiting for a ride service because they were so fucked up. So, you know, I'm checking the check. These dudes, bruh, this meal had to at least been like $180 to $200. This man tipped $5. This man tipped $5 for a damn near $200 check, right? He tipped $5, bruh. So all that was worth $5 to you. That's fucking great. So, but alas, we have that gratuity. So I did get a percentile and, you know, everything made up for it. But it's just the fact where it's just like, damn, bro, like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, but I don't know. I'm the type of person, and that maybe that's why I tip so, like, well when it does come to servers, because you never know, that shit can make their fucking day. And especially when you have a large group of people and they're like, no, that's a lot of fucking work. And it's a lot, like, imagine if I had more tables. Like, they were lucky it was a slow start to a Friday, because if I would have had more tables and they would have gave me $5, I would have been fucking pissed, and I probably would have went home and said, fuck this bread. Like, seriously. So yeah, that was a story about like the most obnoxious ass, disgusting ass customers that I've ever had. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys may have really worse stories. I would like to hear about them in the comments below. And yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.